Testing 1 2 1 2 testing. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in, welcome all to flight number 2 of the Pilots of the Caribbean. A name that I didn't just make up, actually. I had that name last time and then I just decided not to use it because I'm like, you know, that's corny. But now I just don't give a shit. I don't know if I'm gonna put that in the title though. But yes, welcome back and thank you, everybody. I may as well get this out the way now. Thank you, everybody, for 600 subscribers. And we are climbing. I think we're at like 620 something the last time I checked. Man, it's crazy, bro. Like, I can't thank all you guys enough. I had no idea so many people would want to see me just tinker around with old simulators. Like, it is insane. Tinker around with old simulators, and let's face it, like, I just feel like in more recent videos, I've been kind of rambly, but you guys like the rambliness. Like, okay, cool. Like, that's cool. And I am a man of my word. Yes, we will go to Chicken Hut. Just stand by for that. All right, I got a whole thing planned. That'll be its own separate video, and hopefully I can get to it before 700 subscribers. Cause man, like we're growing so fast. Like I can't keep up with all the specials. That's a good problem to have. Like, I'm not complaining. Like, please don't see it as me complaining or anything. For today's flight, right, it's really gonna be 2 flights. We're gonna be heading out of St. Lucia. We're gonna go to Beef Island. There's no way like I'm pronouncing this right. Beef Island, BEEF. It's right like next to St. Thomas, or maybe it is St. Thomas. Maybe it's one of the islands that like sort of make up St. Thomas. I don't know, but Beef Island, ladies and gentlemen. There's no way that's how you pronounce it. Maybe it's like Biffy. We'll call it St. Thomas, right? So we're gonna be making our way to St. Thomas today. Then after that, we gotta move our plane to St. Marten so we can do the 3rd and final flight. I don't know if you guys saw the post I made about my iFly 737 that I have acquired from Flight 1 and the Max 8 team. They really hooked me up, and I can't thank them enough. It's such a cool plane, and I can't wait to show you guys. They're working hard like right now on that Max 8 update. So they were like, yeah man, take it. Like they saw my channel and they were like, we understand the vision. So they were like, take it, bro. So a huge shout out to them. But that's gonna be next video. The flight to St. Marten will be more of a repositioning flight, and that should be just, you know, what, 10 minutes, you know, from St. Thomas, even Beef Island. They must have great steak there. When's the last time you've used an NDB? Yeah, I don't know either. We've got 3 of them here on this route today. One is going to be more so just in case we're not close enough to the next VOR, and I believe that's about 105 nautical miles according to the charts, right? So we might be out of range at first, so we're gonna be kind of like, you know, we're gonna be tracking this Douglas NDB for a little bit until we pick up on the VOR. We might pick up on Mr. Guadalupe over here. I think that's how you pronounce it right away, but like I don't know. So just in case, we'll have that NDB tuned. We could have gone up to St. John's and then over to St. Marten, but my original plan was to hit up St. Kitts and then go west and then like kind of turn up towards Beef. Yeah, then I'm like, that's kind of stupid. We'll pass by St. Marten, even though we're coming right back to St. Marten. Then I'm like, you know, instead of connecting to St. John's and then to St. Marten, I'm like, how often is it that you get to use an NDB? You know, so whatever, we'll track St. Kitts anyway, and then we'll head up to St. Marten. It'll be kind of zigzaggy, but who cares, right? It'll be more interesting. Called BFI, right? So we'll track that and head in. Like, we'll fly the pattern for 7 and offload the passengers and skip on over to St. Marten.
Crew boarding starting. Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback. Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Release parking brakes, please. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will. Please set parking brakes. Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear. Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
Steady as she goes, boys. Yeah, that's right, we're hand flying her. Cause, you know, why not? Life's too short to live on autopilot. It's a great shirt idea. So we're walking up on our first target. And then from there, maybe we'll hand it off to the autopilot. And the scenery's pretty good. The water textures are new. These are not the default water textures. I will probably get Orbex because it's on sale right now. This scenery should be looking a little better. I'm also kind of scared because, like, I don't know how much of a performance hit I'm gonna take. Right now, like, I'm getting good enough performance, and you know, I don't want to get worse performance. See, right now we're doing 60 on the nose. We were doing like high 30s, early 40s, early to mid 40s on the ground, and I feel like that's about as good as you could, you know, ask for Flight Simulator X. And you know, a paid aircraft and, you know, scenery and water and all that. We are climbing pretty good. Just keep her, I'm trying to keep her at about 1,000 feet a minute, you know, for these types of planes. I feel like that's good. Keep my eye on everything. And one thing I didn't do is I didn't turn on my DME. So I don't know how far away we are. About 40. Okay. 40 to go. This time by. And our VOR friend should be on those islands up ahead. We'll fly it up to 10. And, look at that water. It's nice. See, that's what I was talking about. I think it was my last, video. I was talking about how the water textures in Flight Simulator X, they try too hard, like the default ones, and this one I like because it's a lot more subtle. And I think I have it right now on the high low preset, so like the ×2 low preset, and it's good enough. Like, you don't really need any more than that, I think, in my opinion. Oh, don't drift off course there, bud. We're doing fine, like, we're keeping her on the nose, so, yeah, as we're approaching 10. Oh, thermal. Whoa. Bumpy. Whoa. Whoa. Wiggly, wiggly. We took an elevator on up. You see that? We hit that thermal and just ascended. Jeez. Whoa, look at that. Look at that. It's not overspeed the aircraft, no. Let's trim that prop. Alright, about there should be fine. Come off the power a little more. I think I've got my ADF right. Oh, because I have it on standby. Alright. I was wondering why we weren't getting a frequency, and we might be a little far, but yeah, okay. Now it's on the active. So we should pick that up. I have it punched in, so we should be picking it up when we pick it up. And for now, I guess we'll just chill. About 30 to go. Alright, we're coming up on our first target in any minute now, as we are big drifting, so we'll get as close as we can. Wait for this flag to go the opposite direction, and we'll start tracking the new VOR. But I kind of want to use the first NDB for a little bit. You know, why not? It doesn't give us any DME, but at least this one doesn't, because there is no DME station next to it or near it. So we're just gonna have to, I don't know, kind of guess. Like this one, I'm so, like, I completely forget like how you do that if there's no DME. I also forget why it's important to keep this. You see this? I don't know why. I forget why it's important to kind of keep that where it needs to be, because I usually just use this needle in relation to what's going on here. But you know, whatever. It's not like in a VOR where turn the dial, you see that it'll adjust, like, you know, where you are in relation to where you're supposed to be, right? Or where you're trying to go. This doesn't do that. So you can spin it all the way around, and it just points to in the direction that you need to go. So I mean, I don't know. It's like this can be like way over here, like this can be pointing west, but you know you're not going west. So it's like maybe my mind is just good at like filling in those gaps, but I don't know, maybe some people need it. Whatever, we'll try and keep it up to date, and we'll go ahead and we'll even where is it? There it is. We'll switch out to 1290, and yeah, see, we're looking good. And we're going pretty much in the direction that we need to go. It's both needles are saying we're drifting, so we'll fix it. But like, that's the advantage of the VOR, right? The VOR will show you where you are in relation to where you want to go. The NDB is just kind of like the place you want to go. It's over there somewhere. It's like, well, where over there? I don't know. It's just over there. That's kind of like how I always looked at it. I don't know if that's like 100% accurate, but that's kind of just how I always saw it. I don't know. NDBs can be fun too. It's just you rarely use them unless you're in some like remote area of the world. I've noticed. Like, why is that? Why are NDBs just like the middle of nowhere all the time? Like, there's a lot of them around these islands, like in the Bahamas and in the Caribbean and stuff like that. I would imagine there are a lot like in the Canadian wilderness and like Alaska, you know, places like that. Are they just easier to set up and maintain? Like, I don't get it. I don't know, especially when some of them don't have DME like boxes next to them. Like, I don't know why that's the thing, but I know why, you know, they're being phased out, I guess. Maybe they're not getting phased out, they're just not as popular. So we're just gonna keep updating this. Whenever I get bored of this NDB, we can start tracking, I think, what is that? PPR. Something in French. Conde Guadalupe. Guadalupe. I don't know. It's very French. It's not going to be a completely different, like a drastically different heading. It is on this Alpha 312 highway, so right, it's almost a straight shot from the NDB to the VOR. So, and that NDB is like on the edge there of this island that we're coming up against. This trip is technically not as long as my last episode, but we are in a slower plane, so it might take just as long. Actually, we're going a lot slower. I think we were cruising at like 210, 215 in the what's it called, in the Beechcraft. Here we're only doing 140. So she's not a speed demon, this Grand Caravan. She's kind of a lazy kite in comparison to everything else. I wonder how, like, the Otter, and I did find an Islander. Thank you guys for identifying that plane last episode, as I found an island, and I've heard of those before, but I don't guess I've ever seen one, because it kind of looks like a mix between a dash and an otter, like they had a baby, and they spit out an islander, even though, like, you guys also said that, somebody said in the comments that it's a really old plane. Well, I guess maybe not so much the dash. The dash 8 is newer. That otter is just as old, probably. I think they started making those in like the 60s or something like that. So it's not a new plane, but the Islander might be a little older. I will be getting all of them. We will have a nice little collection of turboprops for Flight Simulator X, and I do stand by my statement when I say that, you know, if you want to fly these kinds of planes, as much as I love Flight Simulator 2004, Flight Simulator X is the better simulator for this kind of flying, just because it looks a little prettier, and I think the modeling for the VCs and the aircrafts, they're better, a lot better. When you're flying low to the ground like this, you kind of want it to look prettier, you know? At least for me. Like, I know some of you guys might not care, but I appreciate the extra detail, even at the cost of frames. And honestly, too, like, it's not so bad when you're flying these simpler airplanes. Like, I thought this Coronado would do a number on my system and my frames, but that's not the case. Like, the frames are still very good. Maybe not quite as good as the default airplanes, but not too far off. Like, it's still good stuff. This NDB is somewhere like on the edge of this island, so we'll walk up to it. I mean, I guess that's like the advantage of it being clear. I can kind of see like where we are visually, but if it was cloudier, you know, the visibility wasn't very good, it'd be kind of difficult. We would have to probably just wait for this to turn around, like do a 180 kind of thing, is my guess. You know, so kind of like this, the to from flag. This is its own to from flag. Maybe we'll just walk up on it and see if it flips. I think it does. I can't remember. So I'm curious enough to just see if it does that. So that's probably it. Probably like right on the edge, because that's right where we're headed. You guys don't mind if I crack open one of these, dude. Pineapple. Very fitting for the theme of the flight. Pineapples are from the Caribbean, right? I know coconuts are, but do they grow pineapples? Is that Africa? I don't know. It's something like that. All right, 26 out from where we need to be. So really, I should have been on this by now, but I've been doing other things besides flying the plane. 325 is what we want, and it's been bumpy going past. Really, we were a little off, but we were pretty much on it. The NDB back by that airport, it got kind of rough, and it's getting a little rough now. Yeah, NDB we should be picking it up, and 112. Let me see. 12.0 is this NDB does come with distance measuring equipment, so we don't have to be in the dark. But this one probably does, because it's on a small island in the middle of the ocean. I don't think you want to be playing guessing games with that. Pick up that NDB signal sooner rather than later. Still radio silence from St. Kitts. And I'm not sure, like, how strong NDB signal. I know very little about the damn things, right? So I'm not exactly sure like how strong their signal is in comparison to like a low or even like a high altitude VOR. I know like for VORs you got about 100 miles, maybe a little less, anywhere from like 80, maybe 70 to 100 miles, right? I'm not sure about NDBs, so hopefully by the time we cross we'll have a signal. If not, then we're just gonna have to move in that general direction until we pick it up. But yeah, I don't know. And I think it's like over this ish way, something like that. Any day now, St. Kitts, please. I guess we could divert to St. John's if we don't get a signal. We'll amend the route a little bit. Yeah, I don't know, maybe we're too far. So let's see about St. John's. Tune to 114.5. All right, so yeah, we'll roll up to St. John's, and it's not a problem. That's almost exactly due north, so yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame. Way out there somewhere, so that's St. John's right there. So, oh well, what are you gonna do? And from there we'll go to St. Marten, and we'll keep the ADF tuned and see if we pick it up just for shits and giggles, you know. Update, we picked up St. Kitts exactly that way, which is westish. But I don't know, we're like right by St. John's. We're about 25 away. I don't know if we want to... Do we want to do it for the memes? Do it for the thrill? What do you guys think? What are you feeling? But the thrill of the NDB. You know what? Yeah, why not? Why not? We'll do a little zigzag thing for the content, baby. For the content. We're drifting. I'm over here watching YouTube. We'll come visit you next time. We'll make a direct re-deviation, if you will, to St. Kitts. I promised you guys some NDB action. Damn it, we're gonna get some NDB action, baby. Hell yeah, we are, man. Who am I to deny the people? To St. Kitts. St. Kitts, you're beating my airplane up pretty bad. Like, let's check our oxygen, make sure we can breathe. Fuel, plenty of fuel. I filled up the tanks before we left, right? So, right? This extended the flight a little bit, but you know, whatever. It's like, how often do you get to use NDBs? Like, come on, you can't pass up the opportunity. Even though we have one more NDB on the flight, that's really pretty though, and I guess I am kind of excited for Orbex. Like, I just hope it doesn't like completely screw me with like performance, because I like how my FSX runs now. I know in another video I said that I was going to be using my main PC for FSX, but not anymore. Like, I got it working really nice on the Flight Simulator 04 PC, the Windows 10 PC, and I'm like, you know, it's running fine. Like, I'm not really all that concerned. I went into MSI Afterburner and messed around with some settings. GPU isn't gonna run hotter than a certain temperature. If it does, it'll throttle down. You know, that'll be that, and it might be doing that because it's hot as fuck in here. Like, my frames are kind of suffering a little bit, and that might be it throttling down, and I wouldn't be surprised at all. Alright, let's switch, because I think we're heading away from it now. Thank you, Mr. Saint Kitts, non-directional beacon. You've been very good to us. 47 St. Martin. Alright, that's probably it right up there. And then from there, we're gonna go over there. You can't see it, I guess, but... and then we're gonna fly back to St. Martin. Thrustmaster announced a yoke at Flight Sim Expo that I kind of want. I don't know how I would facilitate it though. I would have to get a rig. You need pedals, right? So, and I don't know where I would put that rig. I'd have to like clean my closet out. But I do kind of want, you know, the yoke and pedals experience back. I miss it. This joystick, it's fine, but it's not great. For Flight Simulator 2004 X and 2020 and maybe X-Plane, I'm gonna want that yoke and the pedals, and they even teased like the throttle, right? And I think it looks good. I don't know how that's gonna work with this setup. I had a racing rig way back in the day. It was kind of like one of those folding like stands. Maybe I'll put it on something like that. I'm just thinking out loud right now. This is all like future me problems, right? The channel is doing so good, and again, I know I said it earlier, but I can't thank you guys enough. I think I gotta find a way to get to Flight Sim Expo next year. You know, 1,000 subscribers or not, like, I think I gotta find a way to get there. I think it would just be a fun time. Get some cool content or something. I don't know. Yeah, I'm a very, 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 very small creator, and I don't know if they hand out press badges to, like, you know, the bigger guys. I don't know. Like, we'll see. I already have some ideas for like some content that I would make, you know, if I go down there or over there, because it's in Vegas. I wish it wasn't, but I can see how that can be really fun, so I'm not complaining too much. My wallet hurts, like, thinking about Vegas. I wish they had picked a different city, like Providence again, like a smaller, like, more quaint, niche city. Keep the cost down for your boy. We're gonna have to catch a flight across the country. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Book a hotel, use Uber, eat food. Maybe I can go to the store and just make ramen every night or something. That's depressing. You need to eat ramen noodles in Vegas. What's wrong with you? At Flight Sim Expo? Like, what are we doing? That's just the reality of, like, my financial situation. That's even if I can go in the first place. Like, it's kind of a pipe dream, but I would like to go to the Vegas show. It seems like a neat thing to kind of go to, so even for somebody who mains the old stuff, maybe live stream. Like, I don't know if anybody like live streamed over there. It just seems like people, like, from everything that I've seen, it just seems like people like took some video and, you know, edited it, which is fine. I'm gonna do that too, or anyway, right? But to do like live stuff, I would want like a group of friends, and I don't have any friends, so like, I need to make friends with like other content creators. I would also need a cameraman. He could run the A cam, I could run the B cam. He would just be filming me doing, like, you know, whatever. I mean, I guess I could get the close-ups. I don't know. Potato, if you're watching this, you want to run my A cam? I already DM'd you. Like, you said you wanted to go, so you want to be my cameraman? Because I already know you're good with a camera, so... And you've got a better camera than me. Like, the battery, like, itself is better than mine, which automatically just makes your camera better than mine. You've got all, like, the cool lenses and stuff for that. Yeah, I would just need somebody to, like, follow me around. With the camera. That's what I need you to do. I'll give you my wireless mics. You have your own wireless mics. I guess we could just do that. And then when they die, like, we can use mine, because mine are older than yours. They don't hold a charge like they used to. I think I need some new wireless mics. Even though I really like my wireless mics. I don't know. Maybe there's some better ones out there now. I've had mine for a while. Opening my windows did nothing. It is so hot in here. I am sweating. I am dripping. I feel like I just took a bath in this ocean. It's humid. It's not hot outside. Current temperature right now, it's 10:48 at night. It's 65 degrees and clear. Humidity is lower than yesterday, but it's at 71%. Dew point at 56. Winds 3 miles an hour to the northeast. Altimeter is 3000. Visibility unlimited. It's humid. It's not like super duper humid, I guess, but it's still humid enough to opening the windows in here is not providing any sort of relief. I gotta find a way to like cool it off in here, so I might have to open my door and close these windows for a minute. We've been tracking the NDB the whole time, and it seems like it's been doing us good, because there's the airport. How much out we are exactly? Let's see. We'll go direct. There it is. TUPJ. Enter. 17 nautical miles. Perfect. So we'll come down to like 3. I want to land on runway 7 because I feel like it's going to be a bit more scenic. A little more scenic, right? We'll see some boats. You see them out there. will now begin taxiing to parking. And we'll take a quick break, and then we'll fly back over to St. Martin. And honestly, I don't even think we need to refuel. We got plenty of fuel, just like that. Alright, so I'll be right back as I splash some cold water on my face.
Pilot's boarding starting.
And I gotta admit, I am beat. I didn't think it would take that long to get up here. Need some water. It got hot in here too. So, and I have to close the door again because people are now trying to sleep. That's how late it is. Yeah, we better make this quick. Right, we're gonna take a direct flight over to St. Martin. We'll even dial it in here to in the GPS, and it's not in here. Yeah, alright, I guess we'll have to manually type it in. That's lame. Pin City, that's interesting. And there it is. There's the route. We're just gonna go straight to it. 85 nautical miles. Straight shot. I'm gonna flip it to the GPS, so we're on GPS mode. So we can get a little bit of everything tonight. We'll go up to, I don't know. We're going east, right? So we'll go to 7. Sounds good. We don't need to go that high. I don't even know how much oxygen we have left. We were flying for a long time. The sun is going down here in the land of Flight Simulator X. Push that in, make sure our fuel flows are on. I don't think I turned them off. All right, come on, fire up. Fire, fire. There she blows. All right, no pushback needed this time. We are good. We're just gonna roll right on out. I've noticed that the weather radar works when it wants to, and then sometimes it doesn't work when it doesn't want to. It all depends on what it feels like doing. Yeah, none of these clouds are coming up on the radar. Those small, like, sort of like scattered clouds, this thing loves those. It'll pick those up. Anything else is just like, nah. I don't see that. I don't see that giant cloud in front of us. What is that? I don't know. It's already starting to get kind of toasty in here. We shouldn't have too much longer to go. 60. Yeah. I'm going to also try and pick up Active Sky. I think that'll be a good one to pick up for this sim. The weather engine a bit more flair to it, and maybe I'll put this PC online one day and I can get some real world weather in here. The default weather generator, like for the online real world weather for Flight Simulator X, apparently it's been offline for years at this point. The biggest con to flying old sims is that you don't get any real world weather anymore without a third-party engine. I think there's one for Flight Simulator 2004 and I haven't gotten it yet. I do miss, you know, doing crosswind landings and stuff like that. I'll probably end up putting this PC online one day. You know, I don't see why not. It's not like I'm not gonna be browsing the internet since it's Windows 10 and all that. Like, you know, I'm not gonna do that. I have my regular PC for that. So we can get some real world action in here. And I'm curious to see how much oxygen we had left. Yeah, you're still in the green. I mean, I don't think it went down at all. I'd have to check. St. Martin over there. And the airport is like right over here somewhere. This has been a pretty good test for the system. Like, I built it so that it could withstand some heat because it gets hot in here. That's why I put that giant CPU cooler on the CPU. So the CPU is not what I'm worried about, it's the GPU. And so far it's been handling it a lot better than I even thought it would. As long as we keep the humidity out the room, it should be fine. Alright, I think that was like the main problem. I don't want to record with the door open because then that just invites people to poke their head in and bother me. There goes the radar. See these like puffy little scattered clouds? Like, the radar will pick that up. Anything else, the radar is like, nah, I can't see that. Yeah, I don't know what that's about, but whatever. Maybe Active Sky can fix it. Yes, the next video will be displaying the iFly 737 for Flight Simulator 2004 that was gifted to me by Flight 1. That's why we're kind of shuttling ourselves over to St. Martin so that it can all sort of connect, and we're gonna fly back up to the States, to Fort Lauderdale, and that'll end this sort of mini series. We're gonna go back to the older stuff, so we're gonna go back to Flight Simulator 2000 and 2002, the first Southeast Asian series, and then I have a requested flight for Flight Simulator 2002 that I've been meaning to do, but I've just been kind of busy with, you know, Flight Simulator 2004 and X. Do take requested flights. I may not get to it right away, or maybe even ever, but I'll take your ideas if you got them. St. Bart's is right over there, and it's tempting. It's tempting, but it's pretty late, and I don't know. It's like a 15-minute flight, but I don't really feel like it. This is where it ends tonight. We will definitely be back in the Caribbean for more island hopping, so alright. Kinda high. Drop the nose. Right on the money. There it is. Perfect. Old terminal building. Where is that? Maybe this version doesn't have it. Maybe that's just on Flight Simulator 2004. Parked near these air stairs. Guys, once again, thank you for 600 plus subscribers. We believe in the 1,000 subscriber hype. I don't know, man. I'm starting to believe just a little bit. I don't know, man. Do we believe in the 1,000 sub hype? I don't know, man. We're definitely getting there. I'll see you guys on the next one. I don't know how to end this. Welcome to St. Martin. I don't know.